The story of the 2011 Jefferson Nickel is not just the story of a small 5-cent piece of metal, but it is the continuation of more than 70 years of American history that began when President Franklin Delano Roosevelt and his administration decided that the nation's circulating coinage needed a symbol of continuity, strength, and democracy in the face of global turmoil, and that Thomas Jefferson would become the face of the nation's 5-cent coin back in 1938, when the Jefferson nickel was first struck. It replaced the Buffalo nickel, which had been in use since 1913, and by the time the United States Mint reached 2011, the design of the Jefferson nickel had already undergone major transformations, reflecting not only changes in artistic style but also in the political and cultural vision of America itself. The year 2011 marks a special chapter in this long-running series because by then, the nickel carried the forward-facing portrait of Jefferson created by sculptor Jamie Franke, which had been introduced in 2006 as part of the Westward Journey series redesigns. Jefferson is shown in a bold, realistic style, staring directly at the viewer with the simple inscription, "In God We Trust and Liberty" in script form, beside his face. And this design was not a coincidence. It was chosen to show Jefferson's character as a man of vision, a statesman and an author of ideas whose contributions to the American experiment in liberty were as vital in the 21st century as they were in the 18th. When collectors today look at the 2011 Jefferson nickel, they are looking at a coin struck at two major facilities, the Philadelphia Mint and the Denver Mint, with tens of millions of examples released into circulation and a smaller number struck in San Francisco as proof issues for collectors. The proof versions stand apart with their mirrored fields and frosted devices struck multiple times to bring out every detail of Jefferson's portrait and Monticello on the reverse, and these coins remain highly sought after among modern collectors who prize deep cameo contrast and pristine condition. The 2011 nickel might at first appear to be an ordinary circulating coin of little numismatic interest. Yet in reality, it captures the continuing evolution of American coinage at a time when the Mint was experimenting with design innovations, new artistic approaches, and updated production techniques. It was also a time when the nation was grappling with the rising cost of producing the nickel itself, because by 2011, the metal content of the 5-cent coin actually cost more than 5 cents, meaning that each coin was produced at a loss to the government, sparking debates in Congress and the Treasury about whether to change the composition of the nickel away from its traditional copper-nickel alloy that had been used since 1866. From a collector's perspective, the story of the 2011 Jefferson nickel is not only about design and economics, but also about rarity, condition, and variety. While hundreds of millions were struck, only a fraction survive in gem, mint state condition free of bag marks, scratches or weak strikes, and those high-grade pieces certified by professional services, such as PCGS or NGC, can command strong premiums, particularly in grades MS67 and above. In addition, errors and die varieties are an important part of the narrative off-center. Strikes, die cracks, double dies, and other minting mishaps in 2011 nickels are of special interest to specialists who hunt through rolls and bags searching for the next discovery that could make a seemingly ordinary 5-cent piece into a rare collectible worth far more than face value. To understand the significance of the 2011 nickel, one must step back and appreciate the long arc of the Jefferson nickel itself. For over 7 decades, this coin has served as a miniature canvas on which America has displayed its values, its leaders, and its history. Thomas Jefferson remains one of the most complex and influential figures in American history, the principal author of the Declaration of Independence, the third President of the United States, the founder of the University of Virginia, the diplomat and thinker who helped shape the philosophy of democracy itself. When you hold a 2011 Jefferson nickel, you are holding more than money. You are holding a piece of American identity and continuity in the broader context of American coin collecting modern issues. Like the 2011 Jefferson Nickel, may not at first generate the same excitement as the great rarities of the past, such as the 1913 Liberty Head nickel or the 1937 D three-legged buffalo nickel. But they represent an important frontier in numismatics. Today, because modern coins tell us how the mint adapts to new technology, how it balances tradition with innovation, and how it navigates the economics of producing small change in an era when digital money and electronic payments are rapidly replacing coinage altogether. The collector who studies the 2011 Jefferson Nickel is studying not only its physical attributes, its weight of 5 grams, its diameter of 21.2 millimeters, its alloy of 75% copper and 25% nickel, but also its cultural context. The debates about cost of production, the ongoing fascination with Jefferson as a symbol, and the artistry of the mint engravers, who continue to refine and reinterpret his image decade after decade. If one were to create a complete documentary-style presentation stretching across 2 hours, the narrative would include the origins of the Jefferson Nickels series in 1938, the wartime silver alloy nickels of 1942 through 1945, the return to standard composition in 1946, the design stability that lasted through 2003, the dramatic Westward Journey series of 2004 and 2005, which broke with tradition to honor the bicentennial of the Lewis and Clark expedition, and then the introduction of the forward-facing Jefferson design in 2006, that continues into 2011 and beyond. Each of these eras builds toward the 2011 issue, which stands as a modern representation of a historic coinage series. One could then expand into the production statistics, the mintages from Philadelphia and Denver, the survival rates in high grade, the nuances of proof and satin finish issues, the market values in circulated, uncirculated, and certified conditions, the most notable error coins found in 2011 issues, and the way collectors pursue them through roll hunting and cherry-picking at coin shows the script could further explore the economics of coin production. The political debates over changing the composition of the nickel, the cost of metal and minting in the 21st century, and how this little coin fits into the larger story of America's changing relationship with cash and currency. Finally, the story of the 2011 Jefferson Nickel is ultimately a story of continuity in a rapidly changing world. While technologies evolve and economies shift, the coin serves as a reminder of America's roots, its leaders, its values, and its artistic heritage. Jefferson stares at us from the obverse, not as a figure of the distant past, but as a presence that still challenges us to think about liberty, democracy, and the meaning of the American experiment.